a proof that you're getting onto the greater level of consciousness. Hey my friends, welcome back to AttractPassion. An old Egyptian saying is going, the key to all problems is the problem of consciousness. It can explain us that as soon as we raise our consciousness, we can see everything in greater perspective, so we can find greater meaning in each moment, which makes us more self-aware and we become the greater observers of everything. So we step from victimization mode into a creation mode, where we become creators, and creator can only see each problem, as we called it before, more like an opportunity to create a change. So today I will share with you a few symptoms that can prove to you that you are waking up, that you are getting onto the greater level of vibration, as we can call a greater level of consciousness. So the first symptom that we can recognize in our lives is that we become more responsible for wherever we are at the present moment. We become aware that our thoughts and actions matter, and whatever we do today will create an effect which will maybe be seen tomorrow or in the next week or the next month. Sooner or later, we will see the results of what we are doing in the present moment. And when we become aware of it, we become more responsible about what we are doing in this moment. And wherever we are, we know that we are here because of our past actions, and we are now ready to change them. The second sign is that you're more loving, kind, and compassionate. This one is important because as long as we are in the lower states of consciousness, many times we can find ourselves truly angry at a certain person, angry at a certain action that we did or whatever happened. But suddenly we find out that, well, why I'm not so angry anymore? Why I want to share more love with others? And maybe you're meeting strangers and you're just more compassionate with others. It's a sign that you're waking up. You're just becoming more aware that we are all in this together, and there's no need to be angry, there's no need to be hateful with one another, but rather we are thinking like, if we are all in this together, let's make it a beautiful adventure. So we are more kind and more compassionate with one another. The third sign is that you want to serve. You have a strong feeling or a need that you want to serve to humanity, rather than just taking everything from everyone. You feel that you want to give something. You have so much of, maybe of energy, maybe of love, maybe of inspiring great ideas, and you want to give it. Maybe you've heard this one repeating in other videos, but whenever we're talking about greater awakening, it comes to the energy of serving, because once we find ourselves having a lot of energy, we want to give it away. Not that we want to drain ourselves once again, but we have so much energy that we can give now. And with that energy comes information, so we have a certain knowledge that we can share, certain ideas, certain experiences. Whatever you have, you feel that you want to share it. If you feel that way, it means that you are waking up to the greater level of consciousness. The fifth sign is that you are outgrowing your environment and toxic people which were surrounding you. So usually it happens when we start waking up, when we get a greater picture of everything that is going on. Suddenly we understand more, and we're not about complaining about the things anymore. We rather start thinking how to improve things, and suddenly we find ourselves that we can't hang with people anymore which are judgmental. We can't be in the same environment anymore because it is lowering down our vibration. And sometimes it comes to the fact that we need to move to a new location, but it's not necessary. Sometimes we just start attracting new people. Sometimes we find ourselves that new synchronicities happens and suddenly it feels like our environment has completely changed. So depends of where you are, how you're thinking, and what is your vision of the future, what are your present action. You will experience different results with that. But if you feel like you've overgrown your present environment and toxic people in your life, sooner or later, if not already, they started falling out of your life, and you will start meeting more people which are on the equal vibration to your vibration, which means that same-minded people which can share with you same emotional states, which usually are the emotions of love, emotions of joy, creativity, inspiring ideas, and so on. The sixth sign is that you're strongly feeling that you want to create better habits for yourself. You've noticed that you still have some toxic habits, some habits which are lowering down your vibration, and suddenly you started experiencing truly strong feeling that now is the time to change my habits. So maybe you've started reading books about habits, you've started watching videos about changing your habits. And if you would like to see a video about how to change your habits, you can write in the comments below and I can make it for you. So habits are important because habits are our patterns which are driving us, and through our habits we can predict what will happen in the future. So create habits which are connecting you to your wanting vision of the future. For example, if you can see yourself in the next year from now, what are the habits that can bring you closer to that vision? It's not necessary that your vision will happen, that you will manifest it in 1 year. Maybe it will happen faster, or maybe it will take longer time. But if you are walking the path, sooner or later you will meet the destination, or it will find you somehow, some way. It will happen. The next sign is really interesting, and it is about that you have troubles with sleeping. It's nothing wrong with that. I had many troubles with sleeping at that time. When I was moving through that awakening, I've got many answers at those moments. Many times when I had deep questions about life, about the universe, it was for me like I was channeling some greater intelligence. I was waking up at 1 a.m. or at 2 a.m. or between 1 and 5 a.m. And I started receiving answers to all my questions. So don't be afraid if you have troubles with sleeping and while that time you are experiencing some mystical moments. It's a sign that you are waking up to the greater level of consciousness, and if you will do something with that, you will go on with your awakening. And sooner or later you will get to the moment where you will understand it and you will feel that you want to share it with others. Like I said before, feeling of serving, you want to serve others. The next sign is that you're following your intuition more often. And you've heard me saying it before in other videos, and it always happens that way. When it comes to awakening, we become more connected with our true self, and intuition is connecting us or calling us to become more connected with the true self. So even if you understand or not who the true self actually is, your intuition is guiding you to meeting your true self through the process of awakening at some level you will understand and you will know yourself. The next sign is that you've started seeing synchronicities in your life. Maybe those are repetitive numbers. Maybe you've started seeing, like, you're thinking about certain topic and just a video on YouTube appeared to you, or I don't know, a blog, or you went into a bookstore and you've just came across the book which is answering your question, synchronicities like that, or you're thinking about something and just a person next to you mentioned that thing, whatever it is. If those things are happening to you and you feel like, what is going on? It's the sign that you're getting onto a greater level of consciousness. And on the greater level of consciousness, manifestation becomes much faster because we generate more energy, which can help us to manifest things faster, which is leading us to our last sign for today, which is stronger trust in your manifestation power. This one sounds funny, but actually, when we start generating more energy, it's much easier to manifest things because we are not attached to the outcome. We are not in the state of lack anymore, but rather we trust that whatever we can visualize, and if we are with our actions walking towards it, it will happen. There is no other way. It can happen only that way or even better for us. But we are trusting the process also because we know that there is a lot of things we need to learn, and that manifestation will not happen until we will gain the right lessons so we can handle the manifestation. It's an important lesson that happened for me. Many times when I was working on certain manifestation in the past, usually it took me a lot of time, but every time when I've manifested it, I've noticed that it happened just at the right time. If it would happen like 1 month before, I wouldn't know how to handle it. I would spend the money totally wrong way, or whatever it would be. But then through that process, I've learned that everything is happening at the best possible time for me. When I've gained the right lessons, the right knowledge, or the right wisdom from life, manifestation happened. So once we learn how everything works with manifestation, we become more acceptable to information around us, and we are not seeing life anymore through judgmental eyes, but we rather see life through an eyes of a student, which means that we are learning from everything that is happening around us. And when we start learning from everything that is happening around us, we are gaining so much of wisdom from life, from experiences. So suddenly manifestation becomes something which is really easy. We know that it will happen at the right time. So if you feel that you have a strong trust in your manifestation power, it means that you are getting onto truly high vibration of consciousness. So this is it for today, my friends. I'm sending you love, blessings, and power as always. For your journey of awakening, let's raise your consciousness, spread some love, my friends, and keep learning, keep growing, keep feeding your mind with informations which are supportive to you, which are aligned with your vision of the future. So this is it, my friends. See you soon. Feel free to write in the comments below which sign is the most familiar to you. And that's it. One love.